Tonight, from barbecues to the beach and the country's biggest citizenship ceremony, thousands mark Australia Day in Perth. The city brought to a standstill as protesters unite for an Invasion Day rally. A health hero, a sporting icon, a top corruption fighter, the West Australians given our country's highest honour. Plus the rule change making it even harder to take out the record Powerball jackpot. And no joke, a rising Italian star knocks the Joker out of the Australian Open in a semi-final for the ages.
This is 9 News Perth with Michael Thompson.
Good evening. From formalities to fun, Perth parks and beaches have been packed with families celebrating a land of opportunity. This is a shot of Langley Park this evening where a crowd of 60,000 is expected to gather for an Australia Day sky show with a twist. But Australia still remains a country divided, at least a dozen Perth councils shifting the date. But this date will be remembered by many as the day they officially became Australian. WA hosting the country's biggest citizenship ceremony. Jamie Freestone begins our coverage.
Flying the flag for Australia's newest citizens. More than 300 people taking the pledge at the nation's biggest citizenship ceremony in Joondalup. And on a day that can be divisive, words of unity during the acknowledgement of country.
This is our country. We can all feel proud of it together. And the only way we do that is by respecting and acknowledging everyone's story.
And I'm a part of a bigger picture. I'm part of a country with a lot of cultures in it, and makes me happy.
After 11 years here, it was time for Stacey Bartlett to make the pledge.
It felt right. We've got a little one on the way in about a week's time, and we've got our first here as well, so it just felt right to feel really, truly Australian.
It felt pretty good, and it meant to me that I'm now officially part of this country.
Stirring scenes too on the South Perth foreshore, with dozens more welcomed as new Australians, enjoying a display of First Nations dance and culture.
I now can really call it home and have a sense of belonging.
We are so proud that they have selected Australia and Western Australia to be their home.
With the formalities over, it was time for a traditional feed, a cook-up replicated along the coast.
Good feeds, good company, and just having a good day.
A day some say should be marked on a different date.
I definitely think change does need to happen, and hopefully in the foreseeable future we'll see that.
I don't have a problem with when Australia Day is celebrated, as long as it is.
And celebrate we did.
And Jamie Freestone is at Langley Park. Jamie, there are just 2 hours to go until the Sky Show. What are the crowds looking like there?
Michael, there are thousands of people here, but it's still very much a family atmosphere as the crowd enjoys free activities, food vans and sideshow alley. Plenty have secured prime position on the riverfront, setting up tents and marquees ahead of the 30-minute drone and fireworks display. This year, it's closer to the foreshore, so Langley Park is the best vantage point. The show kicks off at 8:15, so there is still time to head down, but with multiple city road closures, public transport is the way to go. Michael?
Jamie, thank you. For many, the 26th of January is a day of pain and mourning. Protesters today flooding streets here and across the country demanding a change to Australia Day celebrations.
In Forest Chase, there was little to celebrate on today's public holiday. Thousands coming together to protest Invasion Day.
People say, get over it and that, but it's a pretty hard thing to get over.
It's not a day to celebrate, it's a mourning day for Aboriginal people.
Most calling for a change of date.
We just want to change so all Australians can be included on this day. We're trying to close the gap, we're trying to stop the racism, discrimination.
Others wanting Australia Day abolished altogether.
I feel that changing the date will appease white guilt.
With loud voices, they marched together, Indigenous, non-Indigenous, young and old. Free Palestine supporters also in tow.
We understand the Friends of Palestine because What's happened to them now happened to us a long time ago.
Sentiments echoed in every capital city. Melbourne streets at gridlock, Parliament House in Canberra locked down.
Today's turnout one of the biggest for Perth, making event organisers confident public sentiment is changing, with hopes of moving together as one in the future.
It's about everybody coming together and celebrating a day for this country where we are living today.
A demonstration of defiance with hopes of change.
Education. I just think, like, also throughout the whole of school, so much people have learnt from me more than anywhere else.
Genevieve Lamond, 9 News.
Police have stopped dozens of protesters intercepting a Sydney train with at least 60 people dressed in black on board. It included Thomas Sewell, the leader of a neo-Nazi group who had travelled from Melbourne. Multiple arrests were made. It's believed the men were on their way to counter-protest at an Invasion Day march. Several West Australians have been recognised in this year's Australia Day honours list. Among